Well, hello, good morning. It's just gone 7 o'clock on Monday, the 23rd of January, and I'm just about a mile into a 200-kilometre DIY Hordax down to Bear Youth Hostel, which is on the south coast, the Jurassic coast. The route itself is like an inverted figure of three, with like a northern loop from Bath over the Weston-super-Mare westwards, and then it bows back into Bridgewater, which is just under halfway. The northern half is quite flat, and then the southern loop will be going westward out towards, over the Quantocks, out towards Tiverton, before it then sort of bows back eastwards towards Bear. So definitely a route of two halves, and the biggest climb of the day I think is going to be across the Quantocks. So I'm going to be on my way now, a bit more during the ride. So as you come into Bristol, you go past these modern tower blocks. A little point of interest is these were used for the location on Only Fools and Horses of Nelson Mandela House in the latest series. I read somewhere once this programme got popular, they had so many problems with people turning up and disrupting the filming, so they actually used this as a less well-known location. So I always fancy a drink when I come past here. I guess it must be that old memory of Peckham spring water. I mean, really, who on earth would fall for that? Bicycle, bicycle, bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle, 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 bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle, 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 bicycle. Ding, 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 bicycle, ding, 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 bicycle, ding, 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 bicycle, ding, 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 bicycle, ding, 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 bicycle. Make that ass fall, bicycle, ding, ding, ding. Shake it, shit. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride my bike. I want to ride my bicycle. I want to ride it well. Well, it's 11 o'clock and I'm in Weston-super-Mare. I just had a mid-morning snack, beans on toast and a coffee. Coming into Weston-super-Mare, I made a right dog's dinner of the route. It's not until I get home and have a look on the mapping when I upload it to the computer I'll be able to see what went wrong. One of the good things is when it does go wrong on a DIY like this, I actually quite like it sometimes, because it sort of forces you to sort of like think on your feet a bit and sort of solve the problem and get back on route. So, you know, there's a positive side to it. There's Grand Pier. Makes me laugh really whenever I see the Grand Pier. About 10 or 12 years there was a really bad fire and it's badly damaged. That's not what I laughed at. What I laughed at was when I was on holiday, me and Linda were touring in the Yorkshire Dales, and I bought a paper the next day because we heard on the news that there had been a bad fire on Weston-super-Mare Pier. So I bought, I think it was the Times the next day, and it said the smoke could be seen as far away as Cardiff, 45 miles away. Well, you can't see it today, but Cardiff is about 6 or 7 miles just across the water. Always makes me chuckle really. A bit of lazy journalism there, I think. They must have just googled the distance between Weston and Cardiff, but you know, last time I checked, smoke travels as the crow flies. It doesn't go up the M5 across the Severn Bridge to get to Cardiff, but hey ho. It's now about 10 to 1 and I'm just passing Durley Reservoir just south of Bridgewater as I head up towards the Quantocks. The low cloud has lifted, lovely blue sky. Approaching the summit of the Quantock Hills, gorgeous up here, lovely blue sky now. Still quite hazy on the coast actually. I was looking back towards the sea, although you can see Hinkley Point Nuclear Power Station. South of Tiverton now, it's 20 to 5. I'm actually heading along the X Valley, really wooded valley. Beautiful, making some good progress at long last after quite a tiring afternoon. but the mist is dropping rapidly. At 5 o'clock, and I've just taken a left hand turn. I'm now taking the final direction eastwards towards Beer. About 10 miles north of the coast, I think, and gradually it gets, as I run parallel to the coast, it gradually gets a bit closer. But this is quite amazing actually. A couple of reasons why. 5 o'clock on January 23rd, about a month after the solstice, and you just notice the lengthening days already. This time back in December it would have been dark by now, and it's still sort of probably about another 15-20 minutes of daylight left. There's this amazing mist really dropped. Gives you an idea of sort of how cold the evening's going to be. About 28 miles from the hostel. Well, it's 5 to 8 and I've just got to the entrance of Beer Youth Hostel. Wow. The last couple of hours have been really slow and quite hard. So after the last little bit of video, I guess it got dark within half an hour. Then I actually skirted around the outskirts of what looked really busy Exeter, but there's all these little minor roads snaking sort of across main roads. And then I went past Exeter Airport, which is quite busy, and then it became minor roads, which sort of took you about, running parallel to the coast, about 10 miles north of the coast, gradually sort of getting higher and higher. Very dark, very misty as well, and it's one of those sort of occasions where you think, just hope I don't puncture around here, and then your mind starts playing tricks like, this is so dark, so misty, what the hell am I doing, you know. And then sort of always have to remind myself, this is exactly what I want. I love these sort of adventures. You know, I don't want to be sat in front of a TV on a Monday night. And then I guess I started getting really tired with about 15 miles to go, and I realised that I hadn't really picked up any supplies, and there just seemed no prospect to getting any supplies. And I started getting the hunger bonk, and I stopped just before I hit a main road, had a double-decker bar of chocolate that I had on me. And a couple of miles along this main road, and thank goodness I saw a Spar, because I really, once I'm in this hostel in a minute, I won't want to be going out again. And I picked up my chicken curry and some bread. I've got margarine and pasta from home, big bar of chocolate, a couple of bottles of San Mig as well. So I'm going to check in, get a shower, get a load of food and drink down my neck. Some beer at Beer, that sounds appropriate, doesn't it? Just had a shower, I feel much better. Just doing my tea in the self-catering kitchen. Here it is. Bit of bread there and butter, just to get rid of my immediate hunger. Got the bottles of San Mig, chicken curry, just boiling some pasta, some water, and then it'll be in the dining room here. Bon appetit. So it's now about 9:15. I'm sat in the lounge actually. There's a TV in here, I don't really fancy watching it. I'm sharing a room with two guys. One of them, he's John, he's from Honiton. He actually sells the big issue. He's just using this hostel as sort of cheap accommodation. Same as the other guy, Mr. T, he's a South African, ex-Royal Navy engineer. He's actually now an engineer for a laundry. So what I've been finding about hosteling this winter, more and more working people are actually finding out that hostels offer quite cheap accommodation during the week. It's win-win really. I mean, hostels only survive if they're used, so people are actually using them for cheap work accommodation during the week, and then at the weekend you sort of get the more tourist, the more traditional hostlers actually. So that's what I love about hosteling actually. You just get to meet a wide range of people actually. Since January the 1st I've been doing a lot more hosteling because YHA, the Youth Hostel Association, have got a 25% sale on at the moment of selected hostels, and this one for example was £15 a night minus my £3 discount for being a member, plus the 25% off that was, which has about £8.75. I treated myself to a breakfast in the morning. I've self-catered this evening, bought my own food, but I'll be having a breakfast before I leave in the morning, but there was even 10% off that. And you know, it's £13.43 for a night away, bed and breakfast. Bearing in mind this is really warm, it means I've not got the gas on at home as well. It's pretty much paid me to sort of come away, really. That's the way I look at it. Actually bargain. Me and Linda are life members. There is a membership fee to be a member every year, but we just decided about 10-12 years ago that we would become life members. We paid instalments over about 5 years. I forget what it was. It was something like 40 quid a year. Negligible really. 40 quid a year direct debit. Did it over about 5 years. Just sort of, something like that. Went really quick. So no longer any membership fees. Are there? And subs every year. On the way in, I think I said at the gate, at the entrance, it's really quite misty and eerie and haunting out there, and I did have a little bit of this is really bleak, hope I don't puncture what am I doing. And then I started thinking about a friend of mine who did a 600-kilometre ride last week actually. One of the calendar events, he rode it as a permanent down to Cornwall and Devon. I mean, really tough event. I've ridden it myself many years ago, and it really is a brutally hard event. So to do that in January was just sort of mind-boggling, really. And I read on his Strava feed that he said something like couldn't really sleep either because couldn't spend more than 20 minutes at a time in a bivvy bag because it was just so cold. And so, man, that sort of gave me a little bit of strength as well, sort of thinking, my God, if he was doing that last week, I'm only doing a third of the distance and I've got a warm hostel to get to, so things like that sort of really help actually. And I've got to sort of say, getting here was absolutely fantastic, and going through the lanes, it was amazing really, because the visibility was so poor. I literally couldn't see the white lines on either side of the road. That's how limited the visibility was. Going up hills wasn't so bad, but coming down hills I was really taking it cautiously. And I had the light off from Garmin to try and sort of save the battery, and a couple of times I overshot turns and I sort of got the alarm, literally about 10-15 seconds after overshooting a turn. I hadn't even seen turnings coming, let alone sort of checking to sort of see could that possibly be mine. And there's something magical about that really, just being out in the middle of nowhere on unfamiliar ground in such sort of quite bleak conditions, and just sort of following a line that is going to end up in the youth hostel car park. So there's something pretty magical about that. Going to spend about an hour here chilling out, probably be in bed within about an hour. I imagine I'm going to sleep quite well tonight. Hello, good morning. It's about 8:05 now on Tuesday the 24th, and it's really misty again this morning. That's the path I came up last night to the hostel. By the time I got here I was quite shattered actually. So glad to see this place. And there you go, like an estate house with its own grounds, probably in a location like this. I imagine you're talking about £1 million upwards, and I get to stay there for £8.75 last night, £13.43 with a breakfast. Yeah, that's what we call a bargain. Anyway, I treated myself to breakfast. It'll be ready in about 20 minutes, all you can eat, 3 courses, then I'll be heading on my way back to Bath. Just about a 71-mile trip back this morning. So I'll sign off now. Till next time.
Tonight I'm gonna have